It's unbelievable, and this is just an example of why we need to preserve these stories. This one is really living history. You probably know December 7th is Pearl Harbor Day, and we mark anniversaries for D-Day, VE Day, and VJ Day, but there's one often forgotten event in World War II that lasted a whole lot longer than a day. The Bataan Death March was so brutal, the Japanese general who ordered it was later executed for war crimes. The oldest living survivor of that death march lives right here in the valley. He's Fresno's Ben Saccone.
We lost 10,000 men on the march.
Right.
But most of them only walked 15, maybe 20, 40, 50 miles.
Ben Saccone walked more than 100 miles over 13 days on the Bataan Death March, an experience he would later describe as hell on foot. All he had to eat was one small ball of rice and a little sugar cane. As fellow soldiers dropped left and right, exhaustion finally caught up to Saccone, and he collapsed on the side of the road. Before long, he heard Japanese guards were approaching.
We just stayed there and played dead. Thank God the guy next to me was dead. And they just hit us with a rifle and just kept on going.
If they would have realized Saccone was still alive, they likely would have executed him. But Ben survived. A once strapping soldier who weighed 175 pounds when he enlisted shrank to 90 pounds after that brutal march. And that was just the beginning. He would spend the next 3.5 years as a prisoner of war.
This musette bag in itself, we started out with everything in it and ended up with nothing.
When he was finally liberated in 1945, the Army told Ben to throw that bag away, but he kept it, and he still has the mess kit he used for all his POW meals.
They were narrow, so when his camp got a rock, until I made it deep, and I could boil, I could put water in there, and the rice wasn't cooked or the meat, whatever it was, then I could redo it.
You would probably gag at his ingredient list, but Saccone even used that mess kit to bake a cake to celebrate his wife's birthday while in captivity.
My wife waited 3 years before she even knew I was alive. The official word was just a month before I was liberated. I wasn't liberated, I liberated myself. Nobody come in with the guns, hey, we're here to take you home like the movies. No. We didn't even know the war was over.
After VJ Day, Saccone spent 2 years recuperating in Army hospitals, and while still a patient, began volunteering with the Army Medical Corps. He ended up holding the prestigious position of Chief Admitting Officer at Walter Reed Hospital, a post that allowed him to meet presidents, generals, and other dignitaries. But before he'll tell you about the countless medals he's received, the buildings he's had named in his honor, the lives he saved in Bataan, or even the long overdue Purple Hearts he helped secure for men from his company who were tortured by the Japanese, he'll tell you first how eternally grateful he is to the Japanese prison guard who helped nurse him back to health. Ben is 93 now, but he knows his story will live on thanks to his grandson, who has assembled a tribute to Saccone in his house. They call it the War Room.
To me, he's a hero. I mean, a real hero. I know he's not a baseball player or anything like that, but he's spent his whole life and 3.5 years serving our country, and you know, he's just somebody that I really, really respect. I just wanted to preserve everything here, and he really likes it. He likes having an office over here. He likes coming over here and spending time in the room, and it's going to stay in the family. Our kids are going to have it. It's his memories preserved.
If I offered you $1 million for it, you'd say?
Sorry.
On one wall in the War Room hangs the sun-bleached loincloth he wore in captivity, inscribed with the names of fellow POWs Ben will never forget. This room makes it clear that Ben will never be forgotten either.
It's my life, you know, from beginning to end.
Oh, that's sweet. So he baked a little cake in that little mess kit, huh?
Yeah, to remind himself of his wife's birthday.
That's
And
sweet.
let's hope it's not the end yet. He said the beginning of the end. He says he doesn't know how his wife Beatrice recognized him when he was finally liberated because he had lost so much weight, but he's glad that she did. And they've been married. It's been 60 years since he was liberated. They're pushing 70 as far as the anniversary goes. So just an incredible story. Great family, wonderful family right here in the Valley.